Here's your tropical and weather update for this Monday. And there is a lot moving across the map right now. 2 hurricanes are spinning in the Pacific at the same time. The Atlantic is finally stirring after weeks of dead calm. And back home, heat and heavy rain are the bigger stories. So let us go through all of it piece by piece. We start with Hurricane Fausto, the storm closing in on Hawaii. As of the latest advisory, Fausto is a Category 1 hurricane. It is centered about 670 miles east of Hilo. It is moving west at around 14 miles per hour. Its top winds are near 80 miles per hour and falling. The Central Pacific Hurricane Center says it keeps weakening. Cooler water and dry air are steadily draining its strength. Forecasters expect Fausto to weaken to a tropical storm soon. Here's the timeline that actually matters for the islands. Surf is already building along east-facing shores today. That surf climbs higher tonight and peaks Tuesday into Wednesday. Fausto makes its closest approach to Oahu and Kauai Wednesday. By then, it should be a weakening tropical storm, not a hurricane, and its center is forecast to pass north of the islands. The strongest winds and heaviest rain should stay to the north. Confidence in that northern track has climbed all weekend. Right now, no coastal warnings are posted for the islands, but do not brush this storm off just yet. The biggest threat is dangerous surf and powerful rip currents. Waves as high as 15 feet are possible on east shores. That is life-threatening for swimmers and anyone near the water. Fausto's outer bands can still throw showers and gusty winds in. And Hawaii's mountains can squeeze extra rain from those bands, so a few spots could see brief downpours and local flooding. Forecasters say the heavy rain threat is fairly short-lived, though. Normal trade wind weather should return by late week. What we are watching next is any last shift south. A track farther south would pull stronger winds onto land. For now, the trend is holding north, which is good news. One more note, far from Hawaii, down in California. Fausto's swells are sending dangerous rip currents to Southern California, so even distant shores are feeling this storm's reach. Now to the second hurricane, and this one is a powerhouse. Its name is Genevieve, out in the eastern Pacific. Right now it sits about 570 miles south of Mexico. It is moving west-northwest, staying well away from land. Genevieve is rapidly strengthening into a major hurricane. That makes it the first major hurricane of the Pacific season. Here's the key point for anyone along Mexico's coast. Forecasters expect Genevieve to stay offshore over open water. It poses no direct threat to land at this time, but it is throwing dangerous surf toward Mexico's southwest shore. Life-threatening rip currents are likely along those beaches this week. Later on, it should weaken out over the open Pacific. So even a storm far at sea still has real reach. You may wonder why the Pacific is so active right now. The answer is a strong El Niño gripping the ocean this year. It supercharges storm after storm in the eastern Pacific. At the same time, it piles wind shear onto the Atlantic. That shear tends to tear budding Atlantic storms apart early. That split is exactly the pattern we are living through. So let us swing back to our home basin, the Atlantic. For weeks, it has been bone dry and dead quiet. That is finally starting to change this week. The National Hurricane Center is tracking 4 tropical waves now. One is pushing toward the eastern Caribbean over the coming days. Another just rolled off Africa near the Cabo Verde Islands. So does any of this turn into a storm? Straight from the Hurricane Center, no development is expected in 7 days. The main reason is a thick plume of Saharan dust. Every summer, that dry, dusty air blows west off the Sahara. It travels thousands of miles across the open Atlantic, and it chokes these waves before they can ever organize. So for now, they mean rounds of rain, not a hurricane. And honestly, much of the Caribbean could truly use that rain. Many islands have been parched through a long, dry spell. The catch is, the dust makes the rain very uneven. One island gets soaked while the next stays bone dry. The dust matters for your health too in these areas. It brings hazy skies, lower visibility, and irritated eyes. For most healthy people, it is a nuisance, not a danger. But if you have asthma or breathing issues, take it seriously. And remember, the Atlantic's last storm, Bertha, just faded away. Now let us bring it home to the mainland, starting in Florida. Florida is locked in a wet, stormy pattern this week. Deep tropical moisture is parked right over the peninsula. Expect afternoon and evening thunderstorms day after day. Today, storms. Fire along the corridor between Tampa and Orlando. Some of these storms move slowly and dump heavy rain. When that rain trains over one spot, streets flood fast. Forecasters warn of a flash flood risk along the east coast. By the middle of the week, a stronger impulse arrives. That spreads rain across the Panhandle and North Florida too. South Florida sees its best storm chances lift by Tuesday. So if you are in Florida, plan around the afternoons and never drive into a flooded road no matter how short. Just to the north, the southeast fights its own soggy pattern. A slow front has stalled across the region for days. It keeps feeding tropical moisture into the Carolinas and Georgia. The Weather Prediction Center flags a flash flood risk here. The focus today runs near the lower Savannah River Basin. Parts of Tennessee and western Kentucky are included as well. Ironically, much of this region has been in serious drought. The rain is needed, but not all at once like this. When it falls too fast, the dry ground cannot absorb it. That is exactly when creeks and roads flood quickly. Now, to what may be the biggest mainland story of all, a dangerous heat wave is baking the central and southern states. A strong upper ridge is trapping that heat in place. Highs are climbing into the mid-90s to near 105. Add the humidity, and it feels far worse than that. Heat index values are reaching 105 to 115. That kind of heat is genuinely dangerous, not just uncomfortable, and forecasters expect it to linger well into next week. If you are in that zone, please treat this heat seriously. Drink water, find air conditioning, and limit midday time outdoors. Check on elderly neighbors and never leave anyone in a car. Farther north, a different threat is taking shape this week. Forecasters are watching severe storms and flash flooding here. The risk spreads from the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes. It then pushes toward the northeast over the next few days. Damaging winds and heavy downpours will be the main concerns. So keep an eye on the sky if you're up there, and out west the summer monsoon is firing up. Moisture is fueling storms across the Four Corners and Rockies. That activity lifts toward Arizona and New Mexico this week. These desert storms can bring sudden downpours and flash flooding, so watch for fast rising water in washes and low spots. So here is the full picture in one clear place. No hurricane is threatening the mainland United States today. Hawaii's main concern is dangerous surf and rip currents midweek. Mexico faces dangerous surf from Genevieve sitting offshore. The Atlantic is waking up slowly, one tropical wave at a time. And here at home, heat and heavy rain are the real stories. None of this is cause for panic, just for awareness. This is often how an active season quietly builds momentum. It starts small and quiet, then builds wave after wave. So take a few smart steps now while things are calm. Know how you will get warnings even overnight. Keep water supplies and a simple plan ready at home. And if you are near the coast, respect the surf. For anything official, always rely on the National Weather Service. Follow the National Hurricane Center for every tropical update, and listen to your local emergency management for real decisions. I will keep tracking all of this for you day by day. The moment a track or a risk shifts, you hear it here. Stay aware, stay calm, and I will see you tomorrow.